Hey friends, it's Pastor Terry Lee here on Thursday, August 27th. I think I got that right. Yes, I do. And these are Thursday thoughts, coming a little later than I planned today. It's been a very, very full day of meetings. But we've been trying to say hello on Thursdays in our Facebook channel, and maybe give you a little bit of a prompt concerning the upcoming Sunday. It's a spectacular day here, and would attempt to do that. Apparently I'm getting out of range of my Wi-Fi signal. I thought I'd come outside and kind of take advantage of the beautiful sun, and if you're there and interested and able to join me, that would be great. This coming Sunday, will close out our Campfire Stories series over the summer, and all of these series, all of these sermons, all the services are recorded. They're saved in our live stream feed on our Facebook channel. They're also saved on our website, and you can access them there. Just go to our media page on our website, www.okalliance.ca. But we've been looking at biblical accounts, biblical stories that maybe you encountered in Sunday school as a child, maybe not, maybe they're new stories to you, but we're looking at them again as adults. And this coming Sunday, we're coming to the end of that series, the close of that series. First Sunday of September, I'm going to start a new series that we're calling The Big Picture, and we're going to do a survey. We're looking at Genesis through Revelation over the 12 weeks that will lead us up to Advent. We're looking at sort of characters in that in the scriptures, but we're looking at what's called the meta-narrative of Scripture. How does the Bible tie together, and where do I find kind of fundamental ideas and concepts in the pages of Scripture from Genesis through Revelation? And in particular, we're looking at the reality that God is with us. That's the first Sunday of September. This Sunday we're closing out our Campfire series, and we're going to 1 Samuel. We haven't gone that far into the scriptures. We've been staying pretty much in the Pentateuch, the first 5 books of the Bible. But this Sunday we're going to stray into 1 Samuel, the first 2 chapters of 1 Samuel. And I'm kind of excited because we have one of our women telling the story of a woman. 1 Samuel chapter 1 includes the account of Hannah. She was the wife of Elkanah, and Hannah is a woman who could not bear children, living in a culture where that was a shameful thing. A very sad reality about the history is that there have been periods of time when different people groups or different genders are shamed for certain things. This was the period of time she lived in, and she sought God. And Colleen McCubbin from our church family, Colleen's a deep follower of Jesus. Her husband Kevin's on our board of elders, and Colleen is one of our worship leaders. I'm excited that you get a chance to just meet Colleen in a little bit different way as she would open Scripture, and hopefully you'll just love her even more. 1 Samuel tells the account of Hannah. She seeks the Lord. It's a very intimate encounter and introduction to a period of history at the end of the period that has come to be known as the period of the Judges. So we spent a lot of time this summer in Genesis. We've looked at Adam and Eve. We've looked at the beginnings. We've looked at Abraham, the patriarch. We've looked at Joseph, who God used to save his family. So historically, Adam and Eve, Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in sequence, in order. Jacob's name's changed to Israel. He has 12 sons. One of those sons is Joseph, second youngest, Joseph. God uses Joseph to rescue his people and bring them back into safety in Egypt. And then we've looked at Moses, and God used Moses to bring them out of Egypt. And we've looked at several aspects of the Moses account. Once they were brought out of Egypt, and we haven't told the story of them going into the land Though we have talked about Joshua. I did that a couple of weeks ago. We talked about Joshua, who would lead them into the land, but we didn't talk about what came after once they were in the land. It was a difficult season. The book of Joshua tells us about the conquest of the land. The book of Judges tells us about the season that comes. It starts off by saying that they raised up a generation that didn't know the Lord. Somehow they'd been unfaithful to the commission to tell the next generation and to share what they knew. And we enter into the period of the Judges, where God would come upon a particular person, would raise them up. They'd call revival. They'd bring people back to themselves. The nation would return, and then that judge would die, and the people would return to godless ways. The account of Hannah comes at the end of the period of Judges, and it comes at the period of time when there was a lot of evil in the land. Even the priesthood had become highly corrupt. And God's answer to Hannah's cry for a child was Samuel. He becomes the final prophet or judge in the list of judges. He's the final judge in the list of judges. And God uses him extraordinarily. He becomes the catalyst to then the monarchy. And he anoints King Saul. That was a mistake. He anoints King David. Well, the better job. And that becomes then the legacy that will ultimately point us toward Jesus. This is who Samuel is. We're going to look at Hannah, her cry to the Lord, and God's response to her. And it's a beautiful account of God using a godly woman who was seeking him, seeking his purposes, even in the midst of her sorrow, in the midst of her disappointment. And God answers according to his gracious loving kindness. And his answer also furthers his eternal purposes, because ultimately Samuel figures strategically in the account of how God is going to ultimately bring Jesus and provide the way that mankind can be restored to himself. So these are campfire stories. Maybe you're squeezing one of the last fire pits of the summer. Maybe there's a few fire pits ahead of us this fall. Maybe some of these stories need to be brought back. You discuss them with your family around a dinner table, around a campfire, around a fire pit, and invite God to show up in some of those conversations. I had one of those conversations around a fire pit just a week or two ago, and I tell you, it was rich. Oh my goodness, it was fantastic. We started telling stories together of how God had been at work in our lives, and it was a highlight of my summer, to be honest. I hope that there are some of those wonderful conversations yet ahead of you, and that maybe the story of Hannah, 1 Samuel chapter 1, chapter 2. I'd encourage you to read it if you can before Sunday, and then join us. Come live. We've got lots of space. We'd welcome you here. We're keeping record of who's present, just so that we can do contact tracing if the worst came to worst. But it's been wonderful. It's been wonderful to be together. I hope you could be with us physically, or dial in 9:50 a.m. We will go live. www.okalliance.ca off our website, or right here on our Facebook page. And we'd love to connect with you. If you have needs, please call into the church office. Let us respond to you. I hope you're able to enjoy this beautiful sunny day. I think tomorrow is going to be fantastic. Maybe a little cooler over the weekend, according to the weather person. But God has some extraordinary plans for us this fall. I've been seeking him over the summer. I'm looking forward to leading us into that this fall. And I hope that you'll be with us in every regard. Bless you, and bye for now.